Hello, everybody, and welcome to the USPL Waiver Wire show with Coach Oak. So, as you can see on screen, we are focusing on Alolan Persian this week, but let's give you a little bit of a rundown of what the Waiver Wire show is if you haven't seen something similar in the past. So more or less, this is me taking one mon a week that was not drafted or is not currently on a team, but I wanted to show off its usefulness and versatility in the draft league format. So for this week, I've chosen one of my favorite mons to use in the draft league format, and if people like the show, we will do probably straw polls in the future to figure out what mons you want to see me cover. But this is a Alolan Persian, obviously new in the 7th generation, dark type, which, while it has some poor stats and some good stats, namely just its speed is good, but we'll go into that a little later. But it's got some very good versatility and very good usefulness and some very good niches in this draft league format. So let's jump over to Showdown and start with that right now. Alright, now that we're over here in Showdown, you can see my lineup of 6 Darfield, the dark type Garfield, set up along the team, and we are going to go through 6 sets this week because there are 6 sets I want to show off of Alolan Persian, showing off its versatility right off the bat. But first, let's go into its stats. So, as you can see, it's got 65 HP with 60 defense and 65 special defense, so not very good. Not what you want to see, and probably why it's not drafted. It's also got 60 attack, also not very good, 75 special attack, getting near usable, but still not there. And then we've got the 115 speed, which is very, very nice. So now let's jump into the set, and that shouldn't be there. That should be there. We'll jump into the set and see what we want to do. So first off, we've got the Assault Vest as the item to go along with its Fur Coat ability. Alolan Persian has 3 abilities, all which can be useful, but the main 2 are Fur Coat and Technician, which are the main usefulness. However, Rattled we'll get into a little later. But Fur Coat is probably its best ability, as it doubles its defense. So you take that 60 defense, 120. There we go. That sounds a little more usable now, doesn't it? Obviously, Assault Vest, it's going to time your special attack by 1.5. So suddenly we've taken these really bad defenses and turned them into not too bad. And we'll see why we can do something with this in a second. So with Assault Vest, you have to have 4 attacking moves, but you can still run Alolan Persian with 4 attacking moves, and they're really all utility moves. So it's a utility, defensive, speedy, pain in the butt mon to deal with this set, and this is probably the set I would run the most. You've got Fake Out for free damage, Snarl, just to lower special attack, as well as kind of a stab is special, going off the better side of Darfield. And we've got Foul Play to take advantage when you're in against likely slower mons with high attack stats, and take advantage of that using their attack stat into the calculation rather than the 60 and all that ugliness down there. And then you've got U-Turn, just to get in and get out. You're really going to be cycling fake outs and snarls with that. Get in, get out is a fast U-turn, go into something bulkier, or if you're in there with something that's quick, get in, get out. So with this set, EVs, we're going with, this should be optimized a little bit more. I haven't done yet. Want to get to that 300 mark to outspeed things that are 100 base speed with a non-boosting nature. So, for an example, an Adamant Victini. So, very little speed investment with the speed boosting nature under there. 252 in HP, 224 in defense, along with that Fur Coat. This is going to be 424, which is a very reasonable defense. So, that's our first set. Let's move on to our second. Switching up abilities now to the Technician ability, which is going to double the base power, 1.5 times the base power of any moves out of 60 or less. So, for this set, we've got Snarl as its main use of this. 55 will be times by 1.5, becoming more usable, as well as still getting that lowered special attack, which is very nice. We've got Hidden Power, Poison in the set. Now, mind you, this could be whatever Hidden Power you need in the Draft League format, and it's going to be 90 base power, a special attack. I just put Poison in because that's what I used last time I did a set very similar to this in the Draft League format, which worked very well for me as I took out a Bulu by surprise. Nasty Plot to double the special attack with a Focus Sash to not worry about those not very good defenses, and Hypnosis to put something, if you can catch something and put it to sleep with its speed, you put that to sleep, hit up that Nasty Plot, maybe get up 2, then start throwing off Technician, Hidden Powers, or Snarls. So it's a setup, take out, get out type of mon. As well as being able to put things to sleep, which is just a pain in the butt. So as you can see, 75 with boosting, 252 no boost can get you above a speed boosting base 100. So if it was, say, a Jolly Victini. And so the Modest gets you as much as you can, get that Nasty Plot, get that even higher, then you have a very reasonable special attacking mon. And yeah, there you go. There's the first Technician set. Our second is also carrying the Focus Sash. I recommend Focus Sash a lot with Darfield if you're not running for a coat, because as we determined, those defenses aren't exactly ideal. So we've got Fake Out, free damage, boosted damage this time by the Technician. We've got Bite. It's fast, it gets the Technician boost to 90 base power, Dark type, as well as the chance to flinch with on slower things, which is a lot of things. We've got Aerial Ace for just some coverage, and Parting Shot. Now, Parting Shot is probably Lowland Persian's biggest niche in the Draft League format, but it hasn't come up till now. So it is momentum gaining, switching you out, but its real thing is it's going to lower the target's attack and special attack by 1, allowing you to switch out into something A, bulkier, but B, typically something that can set up. If you take out something, a Mega Charizard X, for example, Parting Shot into this against something that's not going to then be able to do near as much damage to Mega Charizard X, which can then set up Dragon Dances, Swords Dances, whatever you have for setup in that mod behind. Fairly free, as the opponent's probably going to have to switch out or just not have the offense to deal with it while you set up and then sweep from there. That's its biggest utility move that not too many mons get, and it's a very fast Parting Shot, which is nice in terms of keeping momentum and getting out into other things. The set can lay off surprising damage as well as having Parting Shot. Very easy, put it in off the bat, Parting Shot out until you get the matchup you want to not waste your sash, and then do what you need to do. As well as getting all that free damage with Fake Out that's now boosted. Simple max here, again same speed we talked about with just maximizing that 60 as much as possible. We now have a little more outside the box set, Fur Coat set, which is max speed, max HP, complete utility. This is showing off some of the utility moves that Darfield does get. It's got Parting Shot as well, we just talked about. Switcheroo with a Lagging Tail on here, that could also be a Scarf. Whatever you want to switcheroo. I put Lagging Tail just because I think that's fun. And then you've got Taunt, stop anything from setting up or recovering, etc., and Foul Play to take advantage of the other thing's attack and to lay out some damage with this. More or less, switch something on, take their item, see what you can do with that, lay down taunts, just, some shenanigans, more or less. And now we've got our another Fur Coat set. So as I said, this will be the set the ability to use most. This one has Leftovers with absolute max defense. So this is mainly just to take defensive hits all day. Except, it's also a double dance, in a sense, a Lowland Persian, with Amnesia to raise its special defense by 2, Nasty Plot to put up that special attack by 2, and then Hypnosis, put them on to sleep, and Dream Eater to both heal back health and do lots of damage once it's Nasty Plotted up. It's a bit gimmicky, but this set could, if there's no psychic resists, this set could end up doing a lot of things to just make your opponent rage and make this Persian a lot bulkier than you think it would be. With the leftovers as well, to just keep it alive a little bit while things are asleep, you're boosting your special defense and your special attack and everything like that. So you've got a version of a double dancing kind of Alolan Persian. Kind of fun. And our last set is going to be our Rattled set. So our Rattled set, this one is intended, it's made with Victini in mind, which is also why I've kind of mentioned Victini before, but in reality it's also just intended for anything that really has U-turn that you would be able to maybe threaten with sending it a Alolan Persian, so something with high attack for foul play, whatever you can kind of bluff to be threatened by. So it's got the Tanga Berry to reduce super effective damage from U-turn. So thinking something that's going to want to just U-turn out, and then you're going to be able to take that Nasty Plot up, as well as getting the speed boost for being hit by a bug type move from Rattled, which you also would get if they hit you with knockoff or ghost type. So this could also be a good set to put a Z move on. But yeah, this set would also be a really good one to put a Z Hypnosis on with a Psychium Z, which would be fun as well, raising speed there as well. This is to show off kind of its special move pool outside of Technician. Dark Pulse, 80 base power stab with chance to flinch, Power Gem, 80 base power rock, and good old fashioned Thunderbolt. So it's got some good special moves, also get Shadow Ball and things like that. Again, with Nasty Plot, you really do want to be boosting. On the special side, it is a better special attacker than physical, although it does get Play Rough, which is kind of nice for the dark type, but things like that, you're better off going with Life Heart or anything like that. But I think we've shown off some good flexibility here with the Alolan Persian. Darfield is a monster. If you're looking for a good dark type that can run some shenanigans and a lot of setup, as well as being a bigger pain in the butt than people anticipate, not just being a parting shot mon, even though that's a reason alone why it could be drafted in a draft league format, but also doing some other good things to make the other team very annoyed. This again is just to get above that 328 mark in a different fashion, as well as boosting defense to take that U-turn to put those extra EVs there. Something like this, you could get really boosted really quick, and again, sweep their teams. Surprisingly, turning your fast utility mon into a sweeper really quickly, as with some of these other sets. Typically, I think you're going to stick more here, or, maybe some more parting shot type things here, but, you can get some creative Nasty Plot Technician hidden powers going on when you have a good matchup with your 115 base speed and some good setup. I'd like to see this thing drafted. Coaches, make it happen. Alright. Have a nice day, because Coach Oak said so. See you next time, everybody.